Damn you, Tamron. As if it wasn't bad enough that Tamron released the 150-500, followed yesterday by Sigma releasing the 150-600, neither of which I can really afford to buy, Tamron have now announced they're releasing an updated version of the 28-75 f2.8. Nah, I'm not too worried about that. But they're also developing a 35-150mm f2 to 2.8. Are you shitting me? I mean, in a video a few months ago, I was talking about what lenses might we see from Tamron in the future, and I'd said about possibly seeing something like the 35-150 f2.8 to f4 that they released for DSLR, something quirky and unusual. Well, I don't know if they were listening at the time or not, but not only have they made a lens like that, they've made it a whole stop faster. I mean, sure, it will probably start at 35 at f2, and by 45mm it'll be f2.8. But still, even then to stay at f2.8 to up to 150mm is a bloody versatile lens. Alright, we don't know anything on price or the performance of it yet, but I reckon if they can give it decent performance throughout the range, and they can keep the price somewhere around about the 1,000 mark, give or take, in some respects, it might make the 28-75 redundant for some people, although the 28-75 is still a much smaller and easier to carry lens. But that 35-150 would then bring into question a lot of people buying the 70-180. Because an extra 30mm versus having a much wider and faster wide end, which would you go for? I mean, okay, it's only development at the moment. It will probably be a few months before it hits the market and we see how well it performs. But a very exciting lens right there. The other lens isn't quite as exciting, but it's still going to be interesting to see, because the 28-75 that Tamron first released took the market by storm. It was the biggest selling E-mount lens in, was it 2020, 2019? I can't even remember when it came out now. But it was the one lens, you asked anyone to recommend a general purpose lens, it always got a mention. I mean, admittedly, since then, Sigma have released a 24-70 and a 28-75, both f2.8s, to try and rival this thing. And there is also speculation that Sony are working on a Mark II version of their 24-70 G Master. So an update to this would be quite welcome, but it will be interesting to see how much of an improvement and in what areas it actually makes. This thing is an RXD autofocus. I believe the new one's going to be a VXD drive, which presumably will be faster autofocus, although this thing's not a slouch by any stretch. There is also talk of improving the image quality. Now, the actual sharpness from this lens isn't actually that bad. It's a pretty damn sharp lens. Where it did fall into criticism, however, was the out of focus renderings. The bokeh on the lens did look quite busy, and I've seen people comment about the color casting of some Tamron lenses as well, giving a bit of a green tint to things. So perhaps the Mark II variant is going to see improved out of focus and maybe better color rendition, but then it will depend on how they're making these changes. I've got a sneaking suspicion, judging by the renderings of this new lens, it looks strikingly similar to the Mark I variant, apart from the focus ring and the zoom ring seem to be slightly more protruding, but the overall lens size seems to be very much the same. So I wonder, are they putting a brand new optical setup into the lens, or are they sticking with the same basic optical lens? Are they just improving the quality of the glass that is in there, and are they maybe adding some more coatings to try and smoothen things out? Hard to tell at the moment, because Tamron haven't given any indication as to how many glass elements or how many groups the new lens is going to be in. So at the moment, it's entirely speculation. We will wait for the next few months until these lenses hit the market, but two very exciting lenses. Which one are you most excited about? Are you maybe someone who's looked at the 28-75 in the past and thought the quality wasn't quite there for you, and now this G2 version is potentially going to be of interest to you? Or are you more interested in the 35 to 150? Leave your thoughts and comments in the box down below. While you're down there, if you haven't already, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and then hopefully we'll see you in the next video.